Welcome back to the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates. It is Monday, November 18th, tomorrow, right here in St. Louis. Great opportunity. Attend chapel at Concordia Seminary in St. Louis. And then right after chapel, the After Chapel concert series and the artist tomorrow, Christina Schempf. It is so great to have you in studio this morning, Christina. Thanks for coming over to spend some time with me here on the Coffee Hour.
Yeah, of course. Glad to be here.
So tell me about your background as a musician. How long have you been playing French horn?
I started playing the French horn in middle school as a fifth grader, so I think I was about 10, and played it all through high school and then decided to major in it in undergrad. And then I just finished my master's at New England Conservatory in Boston just last year.
Wow, outstanding. So who influenced you significantly as a musician that even got you interested in French horn, or was someone just said, here's the instrument you'll play?
This is one of my favorite questions, actually, to ask instrumentalists, how they chose their instrument, because it does have such a big impact in their life. And it was often chosen either on a whim as a fifth grader, knowing very little about the instrument, or their teacher told them kind of this one would suit you well. And that's kind of how it was for me, that my middle school band director knew that I came from a singing family. And so she said, I think the French horn is the one for you. So I said, okay. And she had a big role in my life. She was a horn player herself. So that was, very inspiring to me. And she had a lot of verve and enthusiasm for it. So
who else, who was chief in supporting your development of the skill and talent? You mentioned your middle school teacher. Were there others along the way?
Yeah, I think all of my teachers have been really wonderful throughout all of the different educational phases. And my parents also have been really supportive.
Very good. So tomorrow at the concert, right after chapel, so this is at 9:55 a.m. tomorrow. So not much later than this tomorrow at Concordia Seminary in St. Louis. What will you be presenting in the after chapel concert?
I'll be playing a short theme and variations by Sasson, and an unaccompanied piece by Doug Hill, who was my teacher in high school, and two short jazz movements by the composer Alec Wilder.
Outstanding. And so this is a free concert at the seminary right after chapel.
Yeah.
Just a nice gathering at the chapel of Saints Timothy and Titus on campus there. Hopefully it'll be a nice, beautiful morning to get out and enjoy some great music. Anything else about the concert coming up tomorrow that you want us to know?
I'll be accompanied by the organist from Holy Cross, Kevin Huxold. And we'll also be playing on one of the hymns during the chapel service.
Outstanding. Well, as a musician, you're also involved with Intersect Arts Center here in St. Louis, and would love to learn a little bit more about that and why you're involved in that as a musician. What is Intersect Arts Center? Yeah,
so Intersect Arts Center is primarily a visual arts center, but my role at Intersect is to start developing some music programming, both educationally for youth and as well as some community music programs. We're starting a concert series that's combined with a culinary arts experience. So it'll be music and food together. We're calling the program Dovetail. It's kind of referencing the woodworking technique of a dovetail joint that brings together two different pieces of wood. So we're bringing together music and food, and hoping to continue to form connections with members of our community by offering half of the seats to each of the concerts free of charge for low-income and homeless members of the Gravois Park neighborhood where we're located.
Outstanding. I had a chance to pop in the building not too long ago, earlier this year, and it's just fascinating to have a building that's dedicated to the arts in St. Louis, formerly a school building, right? And
it's the old historic seminary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's education is still happening in this building.
Yes, absolutely.
How have you seen music to serve to make a difference in the lives of youth. Have you had students already in music at the Intersect Arts program?
We have had a couple of musicians and teaching artists come in to do short programs, like, here and there. But next year, we're planning to have a more robust and regular music program.
So how do you think music will make a difference in the lives of youth that come to Intersect Arts?
Similar to many different art forms, music is really empowering for youth and has a very communal focus in that you're learning to collaborate together and create something that's bigger than just what you bring to the table. And we're hoping to make some programs that combine the visual arts and music, so that kids will be actually creating their own instruments and learning to play instruments that they've made.
Wow.
Which is just an interesting connection between visual arts and music that I think Intersect can uniquely offer.
Wow. Having seen a concert recently where all kinds of things were used as instruments, it really opened my eyes to the fact that there's a sound in everything.
Yes.
You can use anything to make an instrument. It's really about how you use it to make it into an instrument. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So what are you looking forward to with music at Intersect Arts in the coming year?
I'm just looking forward to seeing how music can interact with the visual arts and how we can create some connections there, and also invite other members of the community into Intersect that haven't had a connection before.
For those who aren't familiar with the community, and we have just a couple of minutes, about 3 minutes left, as you mentioned earlier, this is the old seminary building. This is actually the building where KFUO originated as well. Our original studio, our first studio, was in the old seminary building in this part of St. Louis, and then moved to Concordia Seminary in Clayton when it moved there, and then moved here about 6 years ago. So there's a lot of history in this. But tell us a little bit about the community and who Intersect Arts serves.
Sure. That's the understanding who is our community and who is in our community is at the very center of Intersect's mission. So we're especially interested in partnering with Holy Cross across the street from Intersect and bringing together members of the congregation at Holy Cross with artists who have studio spaces at Intersect, as well as youth who are in the Eagle Charter School across the street, and then really everyone living in the Gravois Park neighborhood has a place at Intersect. So
mostly youth, correct?
Both youth, and we have adult programs. We have workshops and classes that adults can take as well.
Outstanding. And I see that just from looking through some of the information on Intersect, just on your website alone, that the community is really that you're finding support as well. And it's great to see that the community is growing and that others are seeing the great value in what a wonderful program this can be and already is as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
So will we see some concerts lining up in the future then in 2020, hopefully at Intersect?
We will.
Outstanding. And as you mentioned, joining them with some of the visual arts as well as with food. That's a fantastic idea.
Thank
I love
you.
it. Now, hopefully it's not a sing-along event, though, because that could just be messy. Wow. So culinary arts as well. Will there be culinary arts programs at Intersect?
There will. We're just finishing up furnishing our commercial kitchen space.
Wow.
So we're planning to run nutritional programming and programs for apprentice chefs.
That's outstanding. Well, going back to the concert tomorrow, you can hear some of Christina's great music on French horn at Concordia Seminary Chapel tomorrow, right here in St. Louis at 9:55 at the After Chapel concert series, and some great selections. Thank you so much, Christina, for coming over and sharing with me on the Coffee Hour today. Delighted to share about this great music and also Intersect Arts and the great things that are to come in the coming year.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Coming up tomorrow on the Coffee Hour, we'll learn more about the Lutheran Young Adult Corps program and meet one of the participants in this year's Lutheran Young Adult Corps program. applications are open for the coming year as well. So stay tuned. Listen tomorrow for more on Lutheran Young Adult Corps and LCMS Sermon Events. You're listening to The Coffee Hour. I'm Eddie Bates.
Coffee Hour with Andy and Sarah is a production of KFUO. To support the Coffee Hour and KFUO Radio, visit kfuo.org. You can also text KFUO to 41444 or send an email to gifts@kfuo.org. And you can call us at 800-844-0524. KFUO. Christ for you, anytime, anywhere.